Hello, good people. Welcome to Raw Vegan Rising. My name is Shane Sterling. How are you doing today? I'm so glad you clicked on this video. It's an important topic. You know, I started my YouTube channel a year ago, and over the last year, I've gotten a lot of, hateful comments and attacks for my stance and my viewpoints, which is totally understandable. But in the last couple months, I've had a lot of new subscribers. In the last 28 days, for instance, I've had over 700 new subscribers, which is fantastic. Thank you so much, everyone who subscribed. But along with that comes higher visibility. I'm getting picked up in the algorithms, and I'm having more comments come in and people contacting me with opposing views to me, people who are threatened by what I'm saying. And I bring this up because it's so important that we stand our ground in the face of adversity, in the face of being attacked, when we know we're taking the moral high ground, when we are advocating for nonviolence. And throughout history, people have been up against this, being attacked for advocating for nonviolence. Actually, leading up to trying to, research a little bit for this video, I found a list of people who have been killed, murdered, or assassinated who were human rights activists or nonviolent activists. I couldn't believe it. The list was so long. I didn't know any of the names on the list. It's just people from all over the world working as humanitarians, working as activists for nonviolence. And so it invokes this anger and this attacking mode when we stand up for the truth, when we stand up for what is right, when we actually become a voice for the truth. George Orwell said, during times of universal deceit, telling the truth becomes a revolutionary act. We're telling the truth if we advocate for nonviolence. And a raw vegan diet is such a high road of nonviolence, because even in a vegetarian diet, the use of eggs and dairy is still supporting the meat industry, because the egg and dairy industry are a byproduct of the meat industry. You can't have dairy cows unless you have the male cows that are slaughtered. You can't have the hens that lay eggs unless you kill the male chicks that are useless to the egg industry. So it's all one and the same. It's still very, very violent. And so it's really a vegan diet that then really advocates for a completely non-violent way of life. And then the raw vegan diet actually takes it a step further to non-violence towards the self, because when we're eating foods that damage our biology, like junk food and soda and beer and potato chips, which are all vegan, it damages our body. So then we have to take non-violence and internalize it. We have to stand for nonviolence on a really personal belief system that's deep within our hearts. And that's when we realize that fresh foods, raw foods, whole foods, the highest vibrational living foods are what we want to feed ourselves, so that we really are in a state of nonviolence. Then we're advocating for nonviolence on a global level and in a way that really truly matters, starting with ourselves first. And what we resonate with on the inside is what we naturally give on the outside. And it's a state of positive thinking. We have to remember how important positive thinking is. Positive thinking is vital in creating a healthy and abundant life. A positive attitude, along with positive beliefs and thoughts, are crucial ingredients for creating happiness. This is not an optional thing. We have to take full responsibility for our thoughts. That means when we're faced with changing our diet and lifestyle, we have to absolutely stay positive. We have to stay in a positive state of thinking, because if we go into a negative state of thinking, we're going to create that downward spiral of thinking that undermines our own well-being, and that undermines the well-being of everything around us, because we are creating our reality around us. The violence that we exhibit toward the animals that we kill for food, the violence that we exhibit toward our fellow man in our society, genocides and poverty and enslavement of others. And, if we feel that we're somehow separate from that, and that we're not creating that ourselves, we have to take a closer look, because everything is connected. Every single thing is connected. We are responsible for the homeless crisis and epidemic in the world today. We are responsible for the mass genocide of people around the world today. We are responsible for the mass murder of animals around the world today. We are responsible, every single one of us. So our positive thinking can pull us out of the darkness that has clouded our thinking. When we're told that we should eat a vegetarian diet, and we're coming from a meat-based diet, we can get defensive. And all of the most powerful, intelligent, creative, humanitarian scientists, philosophers, artists, and thinkers who have been vegetarian throughout history have all advocated for it. I made a list of some of the most famous vegetarians throughout history. Okay, this is in no particular order, and I'm going to read some of the most influential people who have advocated for a vegetarian diet. Plato, Socrates, Hippocrates, Pythagoras, Isaac Newton, Nikola Tesla, Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Edison, Albert Einstein, William Shakespeare, Leonardo da Vinci, Mahatma Gandhi, Abraham Lincoln, Buddha, Jesus, Bob Marley, Confucius, Jerry Garcia, Paul McCartney, Mark Twain, Henry David Thoreau, Steve Jobs, Henry Ford, founder of the Ford Motor Company, Ralph Waldo Emerson, the Dalai Lama. I mean, I ran out of room on my paper. I couldn't write any more names. You know, for crying out loud, even Drake, the singer, is vegetarian. Huge amount of celebrities and singers and all that. So why is that? You know, look, these are some of the most influential people in history, some of the smartest people. If you go vegetarian, if you stop eating meat, you're going to be in good company. Are we going to assume that these incredibly smart people weren't on the right track? They weren't thinking correctly? Pythagoras and Albert Einstein and, you know, Abraham Lincoln, no, they weren't thinking correctly. We actually do need to eat meat to be healthy. We do need to eat meat to evolve our species. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think we can realize that we're in good hands. We're in good company when we decide to go vegetarian and stop eating meat. And also, you know, if we look at how people have been attacked throughout history, people who stand up for nonviolence, I mean, Abraham Lincoln was assassinated. Gandhi was assassinated. Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated for standing up for nonviolence. John Lennon was assassinated for talking about world peace. Bob Marley was assassinated for talking about world peace. I mean, on and on and on. I'm going to read some quotes from some of these influential people. Thomas Edison says, "Nonviolence leads to the highest ethics, which is the goal of all evolution. Until we stop harming all other living beings, we are still savages." Benjamin Franklin says, "My refusing to eat flesh occasioned on inconveniency, and I was frequently chided for my singularity. But with this lighter repast, I made the greater progress, for greater clearness of head and quicker comprehension. Flesh eating is unprovoked murder." Leonardo da Vinci says, "I have from an early age abhorred the use of meat, and the time will come when men such as I look upon the murder of animals as they now look upon the murder of men." Albert Einstein says, "Nothing will benefit human health and increase the chances for survival of life on Earth as much as the evolution to a vegetarian diet." Mahatma Gandhi says, "I hold the more helpless a creature, the more entitled it is to protection by man from the cruelty of man." Pythagoras says, "For as long as men massacre animals, they will kill each other. Indeed, he who sows the seed of murder and pain cannot reap joy and love." That means war is caused by eating meat. Eating meat is the same as war. As long as we eat meat, there will be war and genocide on this planet. Make no mistake about it. Plato says, "The gods created certain kinds of beings to replenish our body. They are the trees and the plants and the seeds." So who are we to question the intelligence of these great philosophers and humanitarians and leaders throughout history? I think we need to relax into the fact that there is change happening on this planet. We are evolving. We are being requested to move to a lighter, higher vibration and frequency. It's okay to let go of the past. It's okay to let go of the things that hold us back. And what most people might think about transitioning to a vegetarian diet or a vegan diet or a raw vegan diet is that it is restrictive. We have to eliminate so much food out of our diet. But what we don't realize is that we're being requested to remove the blocks that lead to a higher way of life, a higher evolution for us and our species and all life on Earth. So restricting is just an illusion of not remembering who we are. Restricting our diet and the fear of restricting our choices is really just the ego's way of saying, well, I don't know who I am on the other side of that change. And so we're afraid of change and we lash out, and people are being attacked because of, standing up for what they believe in, standing up for the truth, standing up for our own evolution. We have to move away from this violence and these ideologies of destroying the lives of others in order for us to live our lives. It's never going to work. So a raw vegan diet is a profound way to treat your body with that living, high, positive thinking vibration, and to not doubt, not question, and not to be in this low negative thinking, because our thoughts create reality. So we have to take responsibility for our thoughts in the process. And our thoughts can say, I'm going to go vegan. I'm going to go vegetarian. I'm going to eat more raw food. I'm going to get healthy. I'm going to stop contributing to war and genocide and mass murder on this planet. I'm going to take a stand. I'm going to make a change. I'm going to be the change that I wish to see in the world. I know you can do it. We're all doing it, And so that's why when I get attacked for my beliefs on YouTube and other social media platforms, I really don't take it personally, because I know people are in pain. I know people are confused and they're thinking negative thoughts, and they're letting those negative thoughts take them down that downward spiral. So I don't take it personally. I know they're lashing out in pain. And, ultimately I acknowledge and honor the grief of letting go of our old ways of thinking. I honor how devastating it is to lose the illusion of who we thought we were. But you know what? Losing an illusion makes us wiser than finding a truth. And the losing of illusions is painful, and it's sad, and it's horrendous to go through. It causes grief and pain and loss in our life, in our psyche, in the identity that we've built up around us our whole life. So I acknowledge that pain. I've gone through it. I'm going through it. I'm going through the growing pains of transitioning to a higher vibrational way of living, creating positive thinking at all turns in my life, not letting the negative circumstances of life keep me from being in a positive state of mind. There's always going to be nasty stuff that happens to us in our life, but it's up to us to stay positive, to turn it around, to create the meaning that life is conspiring to help us. No matter what the circumstances are, there's an opportunity. There's an opportunity to learn. When we get sickness and disease, there's an opportunity to grow. There's an opportunity to heal. There's an opportunity to learn what healing really is, and that we can heal ourselves, and then we can turn around and help educate others on how to heal. We could become, leaders in the field of healing. We could become, great advocates and humanitarians ourselves if we just listen to the path that life is directing us to. And it's not easy, and it's a one step at a time process, and there's no perfection in the process. It's a messy, ugly process. So I honor every single one of you where you're at in the process, okay? No matter where you are in the process, I honor it, and it's important to be at the step you're at. We can never skip ahead. We're only at the step we're at. So just honor yourself, okay? And if you really, want more concrete support, you can check out my group coaching program called Raw Vegan Heroes. This is a group where people can get private coaching from me in a group setting. You can go in there, ask me questions, talk to me on our weekly live calls. This is a community with accountability and support ongoing for people who really need it, okay? So we're all in this together. I am here in support of everyone going through this change, going to vegetarian, to vegan, to high raw foods, okay, on our spiritual evolution journey. So much love to all of you. Thank you so much for being on this video. Please subscribe to Raw Vegan Rising. I'd appreciate having you along on this journey with me. Give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment, and I will see you in the next one.